Welcome to Let's Play Choose Your Own CaveVenture. I made this game together with my friend Niels, who did the programming, and I did the game design and the writings. And this was the very first full-scale game that I made and released. So I did make a lot of other smallish stuff before that, but this one is the big starter. I'm playing this as sort of a let's play of the game, but also as a director's commentary. So if you have any comments, leave them below. I don't expect many people to watch this video actually, but we'll see what happens. Anyhow, this game was made with the intention to create a roguelike that didn't have a visual interface as in a map or something like that, but it was text only. And it wasn't supposed to have you actually typing in commands, but just offering you choose your own adventure style options. How many different things can you do in the room, like 5 or 6 at most. That was the idea, and I actually dreamt of making this something that you could play audio only, so blind people can play it, visually impaired people can play it with a screen reader. And the first screw up of that is what you see right here, which is an ASCII graphics of our Mad Zap Gaming logo, and it sounds horrible if you run it through a screen reader. But other than that, it is very screen reader friendly, although the character you play is obviously sighted because that's how the descriptions in the game work, but you'll see that later. Anyway, let's get started. Let's see if I can actually manage to beat my own game. This was made 8 years ago, so I don't remember all of the details behind the systems. Choose your own CaveVenture. Game design Martin Sabel, that's me, and Niels Boyk, that's my buddy, and he's the coder. These are the basic instructions, but let's get straight into the actual storyline. You had been walking through the nightly mountains, out later than you should be. Then you fell. As you come to, you realize that you're in a cave. Above you, out of reach, you can see a hole you fell through, but you can't possibly get up there. There has to be another way out of here. Taking in your surroundings, you notice the following things. There's a hole in the roof. The starry night is beckoning you, but there's no way up there. You'll have to find another way out. To the north, you see a steeply sloped passage. You hear sniffling and fast, jittering, scratchy footsteps. You hear and feel the howling of an air draft. To the west, you see a broad, washed-out hallway. Now, the descriptions of the passages are actually relevant. It means you can pass them more quickly or more slowly in some cases, and that also means that some monsters get opportunity attacks on you. If you, for example, squeeze through a tight passage and something is behind you, it can attack you. But a broad, washed-out hallway sounds good right now. What we see there to the north also is you hear sniffing and fast, jittering, scratchy footsteps. That's a rat hound. That's one of the monsters of the first tier. There's 12 different monsters in the game. This is one that can actually chase you down. It will follow your scent. And we also hear and feel the howling of an air draft. Now that is interesting. We can see if we can actually use the area to our advantage. Let's go north. You go north. A rat hound passes you on the slope. Taking in your surroundings, you notice the following things. The floor in part of this cave drops off into a deep chasm. You cannot see the bottom. There is an item here, rag armor, a sewn-up mess of leather, pieces of metal and wood in the shape of a kind of vest. Might protect a little. To the east you see a broad washed-out hallway. To the north you see a broad washed-out hallway. To the south you see a steeply sloped passage. That's where we came from. We're going to pick up the rag armor, and you picked up the rag armor with your left hand. My friend Niels, who did the coding, is left-handed, so the character is too. A rat hound arrives from the south, and things are still here. You see a deep chasm. There's a terrible creature with you in this cave. You see what? Maybe a dog? No, it looks more like a large rodent with needle-sharp teeth, and it looks like it means you ill. To the west you see a broad washed-out hallway. To the north you see a broad washed-out hallway, and to the south you see a deeply sloped passage. And we hear sniffing and fast, jittering, scratchy footsteps. There's another one coming. But what we can do now is we can either recklessly attack the rat hound, or we can cautiously attack it, or we can try to push the rat hound into the deep chasm, because it's smaller than we are. Not all monsters are, but this one is. So we're gonna push it. You shove the smaller creature, putting your weight behind it. It disappears into the chasm, never to be seen again. And that's the rat hound. And apparently the jittering was from the rat hound itself, and just was still showing up. Anyhow, we killed our first monster, although I don't think this counts as a kill for the game. But it doesn't matter, it's gone. And we can now go into our inventory, which we access by hitting 0, and wear the rag armor that we found. If we wear it, that's 1 point of protection, and that's a good thing. So we keep going north. And this is a dead end. Taking in your surroundings, you notice the following things. To the south, you see a broad washed out hallway. You hear and feel the howling of an air draft. So we go back. And I think we came from the south, so we might as well go east to explore further. Taking you in your surroundings, you notice the following things. To the east, you see a twisted tunnel. You smell something sickly sweet. To the west, you see a broad washed out hallway. You hear and feel the howling of an air draft. So the smell of something sickly sweet is actually a bad sign. That's another monster. But we have to go there anyways, because, well... Taking in your surroundings, you notice the following things. There's a terrible creature with you in this cave. You see a bulbous man-sized mushroom with teeth lining its rim. It starts moving, and too late you realize that the ground is covered in its tendrils, trying to drag you into its gnashing maw. To the east, you see a steeply sloped passage. You hear the trickling of water. To the west, you see a twisted tunnel. To the south, you see a broad, washed-out hallway. The trickling of water is another very important clue. We might want to go there because we need to drink at some point. But if we have a broad washed-out hallway to the south, we might want to go that way too. And it's another dead end. But taking in your surroundings, you notice the following things. Primitive humans ages ago have covered the walls of this cave in drawings of animal gods and their exploits. To the north, you see a broad washed-out hallway. You hear a sucking sound. That's the fungus still trying to eat us. We're going north anyways. And then we're still here with this fungus, and then we actually go towards the water in the east. So it attacks us, but in the twisted tunnel we managed to lose the creature. Taking in your surroundings, you notice the following things. To the east, you see a twisted tunnel. You hear a sucking sound. That's the mushroom again. To the west, you see a broad washed out hallway, and you hear and feel the howling of an air draft. That's where we came from. And there's no water here. I feel kind of cheated. Anyhow, we go west. Not back to that fungus monster. And now we go south to the starting point. This is where we started, I think. Yes, the hole in the ceiling is here. And now we go east. West. Oh, there's nothing here but a water bottle. And it's empty. But we pick it up anyway. We might have to find a place to fill it. I fear I'm somewhat lost here. We went the wrong way earlier. Now we are in another place, and there's water here. Taking your surroundings, you notice the following things. There's a brook of water trickling along in this room. There's an item here, staff, a trusty hiking staff. Its ends reinforced with metal, useful to fend off wild animals. To the west, you see a steeply sloped passage. You hear a sucking sound. To the south, you see a broad washed-out hallway. You smell something sickly sweet, another one of those. And there's a rushing sound. We can now fill our bottle of water, and we can also drink some water from the subterranean river. And now, what we're going to do is I'm going to take the full bottle in our inventory and put it away, because that way we have our hands free. And now we can pick up the staff. Now we have a weapon. Drink another sip of water, and then we have to go south, even though we know that there's a mushroom there. So, water springs from a hole in the wall in this room, having washed out quite a bit of room of itself. There's a terrible creature with you in this cave, a carnivorous fungus. There's an item here, staff, another one. And now we came from the north, so we go to the east, where we hear trickling of water. And we're slightly hurt now, because as you attempt to escape, the carnivorous fungus lashes out at your backside. The fungus teeth saw and gnaw, ripping terrible wounds. You go east. You are slightly hurt. Taking in your surroundings, you notice the following things. There's a way down. Knowing that water will flow that way, you can hope to find a way out of the mountain from down there. To the west, you see a tight, cramped passageway. You hear a sucking sound. There's a rushing sound. That's the waterfall and the mushroom, respectively. So now we climb down further and enter level 2. But I'll cut this video here. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy this. Well, have a nice day, morning, evening, whenever, wherever you are. Bye.